Today, let's talk about high kicks. Now, I came from a Taekwondo background into Kyokushin karate, Kung Fu, Muay Thai, and then Kudo. So I've practiced different ways to throw round kicks, a number of different ways. So in this video, I want to go over some of the different methods of throwing a round kick and what the advantages or disadvantages might be and how and when to use them. Okay, let's start off from the rear leg. So first, a typical traditional karate style round kick. Most important thing is the chambering of the leg, okay? The foot will pivot slightly around, usually to about 45 degrees to your opponent. You chamber the leg and snap it out. Sometimes placing it forward, snap, down. Sometimes pulling it back, snap and back. Snap and back. Personally, I don't like pulling the leg back. I had an experience when I was younger, got into a fight at school, and this was when I was doing Taekwondo, and I was so used to sparring and pulling my kicks and snapping them, not making contact, that when I got into a fight, that's exactly what I did. I threw a high kick, hit the guy right in the side of the face, and snapped it straight back. And he just laughed at me, grabbed me by my clothes and swung me around. He was a big guy. I didn't come off well, but I learned a lesson. You fight the way you train. So all this talk about having control in the dojo, but then being able to do it when it's needed, it doesn't always work that way. Your body reacts how you train it. So if you always train yourself to pull your kicks, then that's what's going to happen when you fight. So I don't like that method of pulling back. That's my personal preference. If you like that, go ahead and do it. So if you are going to do a traditional kick, I at least recommend stepping forward after you kick to give it some follow through. So a Kyokushin style kick will look more like this. So they will chamber the leg also, but they will put more hip rotation and more base foot rotation so that at the end of the kick, you kick through, stepping down past your opponent's head. This ensures that your kick goes through the opponent and doesn't just slap him on the surface and return. Now I can hear you saying, he's turned his back, he's vulnerable. And yes, that is one of the consequences of kicking through with power, is that if you miss and he's close, your back is exposed. So that's why it's important when you do this style of kick is to return to stance immediately after you kick. So you kick and back. Okay, kick and back. Or alternatively, use that kick to flow into a back kick. So you kick and throw into a back kick. Or a backhand blow. Kick. For the round kick in Muay Thai, you're going to come up even higher on the ball of your foot. Really get up and point your toes. And think like a dancer spinning on the spot. This gives you less friction, more speed of rotation, and you're going to completely swing right through the opponent and not stop. And turn around 360 degrees. Really bringing your hips fully into the kick. There's less emphasis on chambering the leg. Your leg is more relaxed. It's not chambered in tight. It's more of a relaxed, bent leg. And at the end, it whips through. Okay? And when you do it, it's hard to do that slow. When you do it coming up on the ball of your foot, rotating your heel right round past your opponent, you should spin all the way around. So that is obviously the most powerful way to kick. But it's also perhaps slightly slower than some of the other methods and slightly more telegraphed, okay? So it has its up, everything has its up and down sides, and there's a time and a place to use each style of kick. Even a snapping, retracting kick, which I'll get to later. The lead leg. First of all, traditional martial arts will sometimes just throw straight from the lead leg with a chambering the leg and snapping it out and dropping it back in stance. Lead leg snap kicks in particular can be used like a jab to gauge distance, to keep your opponent at bay. Okay, it can give you an extra limb, and they're very fast. So I like to use my lead leg round kick just like a jab. So I just like finding the range, keeping my opponent away. I'm just snapping it out there, okay? I'm moving around and snap it out. There's one footwork I like to use where I will move my front foot backward and forward. I bring it back, and then from there, as I go forward again, I lift it into its chamber and lash out. So it looks like this: forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, spat. And notice I also do a little hop with my rear foot. This gives me more range. So like this, spat. It's not that powerful, but you can use it to set up punches. Okay, so I like to throw my kick, bang, boom. Come high, down low into a body punch. Okay, so boom. Okay, so this is one way to use snapping kicks to set other things up. Traditional martial arts will also use a pendulum step where you bring your back foot forward to where your front foot is and then kick with the front foot and bring it back. So you bring your back foot forward, chamber, kick, chamber, down, back. This kind of kick. Shh. 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 Okay, this kick will give you some extra reach. It's fast, it's snappy, not as powerful as some of the other kicks, but with these snappy kicks, if you can get your opponent to move into the kick, that's where you can really get some effect out of it. So it doesn't have to be super powerful to knock someone out. If you can connect to them on the tempo and have them moving into the kick or kick them when they're not expecting it, that's how you score knockouts. So being able to do these various types of kicks will give you more versatility in your kicking game. Also make a point, different styles will chamber slightly differently. Some styles like to chamber like it's always a front kick. So they bring it up straight first and then rotate it to kick at the end. Okay? So like a front kick and then snap it out. Like a front kick, snap it out. Front kick, snap it out. Okay? Others will just bring it up to the side, from the side and snap it. Okay? From the side, snap it. Another Kyokushin style or some other karate styles may have you step, chamber, kick through. Okay? So it'll be step, kick, and return. Step, kick, return. The step also is a telegraph, but what they do, of course, is cover it up with punches. So you throw 1, 2, step as you do it, and kick through the target. A Muay Thai style lead leg kick, you have to switch stance. Switch the leg, and then from there, kicking through and returning to stance. Doing it faster. Again, you're coming up high on the ball of your foot, rotating all the way around. So you switch and kick. Very powerful, but the switch tends to telegraph the kick, so you have to set it up with punches.